Hi everyone, welcome to 2024, and our BMW slightly changed. So today I want to talk with you about one of my daily cars, uh, Ford Focus, the second generation facelift. Is it still good car in 2024? So we bought this car about 4 years ago as a daily. It took some time to choose the right one because before we checked about 4 or 5 cars. So I think this was the fifth car. So basically we started from the bottom of the market and we just added money and mileage, and basically we end up with this car. So 2 years ago we paid for it, oh 4 years ago, sorry, we paid for it about £2,000, maybe 2,100, something like that. It's 2-liter TDCI diesel engine, which is Ford's engine, basically because 1.6 engines they share with the Peugeot group, if I remember right, and the Ford engine is exactly the 2-liter diesel. It's exactly Ford's engine. So it's nice with the power. It's still nice with the fuel consumption, and it's more reliable, I believe, than the small engines. So once we found it, because it was very difficult to find no car in a good condition, even we bought it from the dealership. Yes, it was cleaned enough inside, everything, but it's still visible if how the car been maintained before, if it was maintained normally or good. So this car was clean even without the pre-selling cleaning, I would say. So for the £2,000, let's call it £2,000, we get still 130,000 miles, which I believe for many of you it's very high mileage. But because I was looking for the good car, not for the mileage, we decided to buy it. And to be honest with you, 4 years, I didn't regret it at all. We still like it. And now we will go slightly through everything what we did with the car, what we spent with the car, and you will make decision. Maybe you need that kind of car today or soon. I would say this is very nice experience. This is my first Ford because since I passed my driving license, I was Audi and BMW guy, and I'm very surprised the Ford, especially the Focus Mk2, is a brilliant car. So let's check something closer. So after we bought it, the first thing which we done with the car, we replaced the floor mats. So yeah, I prefer to have original floor mats on all my cars because they have perfect shape for the car. Yes, sometimes they can cost a bit more than universal, but they fit car perfectly. So yeah, we bought the car, and the first mod, well, not even the mod, the first thing which was required, because the car was sold without any mats inside. So we ordered the new ones, original for Ford. So with the, I would say, parts support from Ford, I found two very nice stores, particularly one which I was using and I'm using now on eBay. So it's kind of Ford outlet, I would call it. So they're selling, this is department of the Ford original company dealership, and it's very easy to contact them through the eBay. You explain them what you want, even if you don't have part number. They will reply you very quickly with the part number, and usually they have nice prices. The only one thing, because it's still kind of outlet, sometimes they doesn't have some things like, for example, thermostat. It was order from the official dealership. Like, well, they're both official, but I need to go to the dealership and speak with them directly, which was another experience and not very good. So yeah, I will leave in the description below. Very nice. If you have Ford, through the eBay, you can contact them and buy a lot of things original from BMW or from Ford, and it's not going to be expensive how maybe some of us expecting. So today, currently, we have on the car after 4 years 136,000 miles, and we decide to leave this car. This car will stay in a family. We're not gonna sell it just because there's no point to sell this car because it doesn't worth, I would say, enough money for me. I don't want to sell it for £500. We will make kind of, uh, I don't know how to call it probably, but we will kind of challenge. We will see how long this car will last for us. So up to date, I replaced one front arm. It was 2 years ago on MIT, so it was failed MOT, one front arm. I was surprised, but they were quite expensive, so I replaced both of them because it's quite big part, and I don't know really why, but generally this car is very, I would say, cheap on the parts, but the arm was quite expensive. I don't remember exactly, but around something like 130 pounds or something like that. And it wasn't Limfjorder or TRW. It was some cheap brand, I would say. So yeah, that what was necessarily for MOT, I would say in whole 4 years. That's why car exactly failed, from what I remember. Again, a few years ago, we replaced brake pads. I used this shop from the eBay, so I ordered original Ford from the Ford dealership, brake pads, brake discs, and it was 2 years ago. It's still perfect condition. I think now the front pads they coming, so we need to replace them soon. But in general, I'm pretty happy. And to be honest, it wasn't really expensive. I don't remember. I think it was like 250 pounds, something like that, altogether, all set for 4 wheels. But yeah, highly recommend. It's always worth to check. If there's not such a big difference between local stores and the dealership, I prefer to go to dealership. About the engine. So the main work which been done, it's been done recently, 2 months ago. So I would say up to 176,000 miles, this car didn't ask us anything. Well, apart of the two arms and the brakes, we just replaced them because the time went. So they didn't fail MOT. They still were usable, I would say. So if you want to keep this car like we, 170 and more, so 2 months ago we replaced flywheel because yes, it just fell apart, it's broke, and it started become very noisy, vibration in the body, and just it's broke one day. With the flywheel we replaced uh, cylinder for the clutch discs, basically all the clutch kit for this car with the flywheel as well, because we were already I went to the garage. I'm not able to do this outside of like I'm doing BMW and anything else, so I dropped the car to the garage. They replaced as well cam belt tensioner, um, just fuel filter, nothing more. I'm doing oil and the rest service I'm doing myself. So yeah, 170,000 miles. The big, I would say, the expensive part which we replaced, it was flywheel and the clutch, which I believe some of the modern cars can have this service already, like way earlier than this. So I'm not complaining. This is just part of the maintenance of high mileage car. What else? Headlights. We replaced the headlights again like a few months ago, just because the old ones they become faded and they are yellowish on top. So I found from the local store. I will leave this in description. Well, if you're in UK, you will be able to buy them. Uh, so we replaced both the headlights. Thanks God, it's not a Xenon, so it wasn't expensive. With a Xenon, it's much more expensive. So, but it's, I would say, fixed the overall look. Of course, we have some chips on the body, some small maybe spots of the rust in arches, but I probably won't be able to show you right now. But in general, there is no critical rust, there's no nothing. For the high mileage car, it's 2009. I would say I did on BMW much more already. So yeah, wiper blades, tires, it's just a part of the regular service. And yeah, that's pretty much that's it from the exterior, from the technical part. Oh, I forgot again, 2 months ago I replaced the small stabilizer links on the rear axle. So they're very small, they're not expensive. Basically, there was a noise when we were driving. I was looking for it. If you have the, how to say, experience with these links, they're very small, they're usually quite cheap, but they're so noisy. So they making so much noise. And it was another example of this car. So it's small link, which cost like £10, I believe. It was so noisy, and I was looking for it because it doesn't show an MOT nowhere. So I was just literally trying to shake any part of the suspension, and because there's not much suspension on the back of this car, so I managed to find it. And yeah, one more part, but I wouldn't even consider it as a like big maintenance. It's just 20 minutes work and £10. So now let's go take it for a ride. Let's go to the car wash, because I believe the part of good exterior and the paint condition is the washing. So I'm a bit crazy about the washing. I'm trying to wash all my cars by myself. I'm trying to find a jet wash where I can wash the car. So let's go take a ride, go to the car wash, and maybe I will figure out something more, and we can speak more about the handling and how this car runs. Oh, we want to use it, otherwise YouTube will catch us. So after we replaced the flywheel, I replaced one top engine mount, which is located on the side of the engine. Probably I will make a separate video, a short video about the top mounts and the engine mounts and gearbox mount. So I replaced one. We replaced flywheel. That's what I noticed from the things which I don't really like at the moment. It's still kind of vibration when I'm starting car and when I'm switching it off. It's of course it's not like a flywheel, but I believe 4 years, well, just with me 4 years, 176,000 miles. We replaced one. I want to replace the rest engine mount. So there's one more under the battery and one more which is the gearbox mount. And I hope once we will replace them, because all the rest done already. So, but yeah, that's what I want to do at the moment, which I don't really like. And maybe you noticed when I started the engine there was slight shaking. Head unit. It was my really first video on the YouTube. Let's go take it for a ride and I will keep talking. So the head unit we replaced, I would say fairly quickly. Just there was a problem with this plastic frame of fascia. It came wrong. So basically there was missing part. I ordered them from Amazon, and the metal brackets there wasn't there, so that's why I sent it back. They sent me another one, so it took time. But originally I'm not electrician at all, so I'm not a friend with the cables and electrician, and I was a bit scared of all this work, but it was so easy, literally. Probably you've seen, or you can find, I will add this link to the description about my first video. It's just short video without my annoying talking about anything. You will see it's basically plug and play. The cables already prepared for all these upgrades, so you can buy everything from Amazon, for example. And if you're using Pioneer head unit, the cable is universal for different head units, and if you're using Pioneer, you don't need to basically do any manipulations with the cable, because the cable have different pins, and for some manufacturers you need to replace pins with this, replace the cables. It's very easy. It's coming with instruction, with the user's manual, with the cable. But in my case, because it was Pioneer, there wasn't necessary to do even this. Literally just plug and play. It's completely, how you can see, touch. I can control everything, the volume from the steering wheel, which with the original mount. We bought the cheapest one, basically just to check how it works, and I still wasn't sure about my skills to replace it. You can buy with the digital radio, with the reverse camera, so There's lots of options of them, and I would say they're really making car fresher from the technical side, from the all the functionality of the car. The rest, I would say, how you can see, 170. Okay, let's call it 180,000 pounds. The steering wheel still fairly fresh. The shifting knob, yes, there is some scratches slightly. The chrome part is scratched, but I would say I've seen cars which are like 5-7 years old, and this part looks much worse. So there's no holes in the leather, there's no completely wrapped plastic. So yes, it's cheap interior, yes, it's still Focus Mk2, but in my opinion, for this mileage, for this year, this car is brilliant. How the gearbox working, how the brakes working, I'm completely happy. The windscreen heating, separate huge thanks to Ford for this. So far from all my cars, I had this only in Jaguar XJR, which had the windscreen heating, and here we have it in the Ford Focus, which is amazing, especially in the winter time. About the handling, probably all of you already know that Ford Focus, they made that huge, I would say, step up with the handling, and it don't need to be Focus ST or Focus RS, which are beautiful cars, but Focus RS already costs like 20, 30, 40,000 pounds and more for the low mileage car. Even this one, the way how it runs, the power outcome, handling, it's, I would say, for this class of the car, it's amazing. It's my first Audi was like 80, no, it was 90. The model was called 90. It's before A series, and it was 2.3 5-cylinder engine, and it was slower than this car, much slower. So I would say the handling. We have 3 sets for the steering wheel, which is standard, comfort, and the sport. I can't say that it's like huge difference between them, but there is difference. So with the comfort mode, it's very light. Well, it's not very light, but it's lighter than in a sport mode. So this 3 steps, they're literally working in this car. You can adjust it for yourself how you want. The rest, yeah, 2.0-liter diesel, reliable. I'm replacing, probably you already noticed that I'm a bit crazy about the maintenance and everything. I'm replacing oil, all the filters regularly, so touch the wood, the car will run more and more. So our plan now to keep this car, and from time to time I will make videos about this car to see what's going on, if something will break or everything will be alright. So in general, we will continue to follow life of this car, and we'll see how long I will be able to keep it running. Because yeah, how I told, it's no point to sell it now. They're already not expensive, but in my opinion, it's beautiful car. It runs well. We replaced the head unit. The difference with the head unit, this one's they even more powerful than the original stock. As well, I forget to mention, because the speakers in the rear doors, they died one by one. I was thinking that maybe it's something wrong with the cables or whatever it can be, because they stopped working almost the same time in both doors. But no, everything was alright. I replaced speakers. I don't have any videos for the speakers. I have just some photos. Again, with this car, there is a lot of already, how they call, kit or set for the replacing speakers in this car. So basically, you just bought the frame. I just bought the frame for the new size of the speaker. The only thing, you need kind of cut off the original speakers, because they're not screwed to the door. They with the pins. So if you have the pin gun, I would say, so you can drill them out and apply the new pins, because I haven't got the new pins, so I just cut them from the original frame and I screwed new speakers to the original frame. So probably we will add some pictures of it here to this video, so you will see. I will put the link of these speakers. It's nothing special, it's nothing expensive, but they start working. They're working quite nice for the price range of the speakers. So I'm pretty much happy. I'm still thinking about the replacing about the front ones, but it's hard because they're working. So I don't know, should I touch them and go for the better quality or just leave them as it is. But yeah, we will add these photos here, so you will see, in case if your speakers died or you just want to replace them. It's not difficult. I did it, even it was rainy weather. I did it like less than an hour. Both speakers been done. Again, because it's hatchback, so we have open boot here. You always can fit some small subwoofer, because all the speakers, I would say they're playing nice for the age of this car. For example, my work one now is 2023 Ford, and obviously even if it's work one, it's playing much better with a much better bass and everything. But for this year, for this mileage, I would say it's perfect. And yeah, I'm planning to replace these two mounts, maybe the finish playing with the speakers, not building anything like extremely powerful, just slight upgrade of the original one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I would say 2024, if you need that kind of car, because they're cheap, if you will find a good one, just please don't buy. Recently, a few weeks ago, I sold my original unit, and the guy came with the same Focus. He was so angry because he bought Focus for £1,000, and it was basically total crap. He told that everything is breaking, every part one by one. He's so disappointed. So guys, make sure if you're buying even the cheap car, make sure you're trying to find a good one, because how I told, in 4 years, up to £176,000, I did only 2 arms and brakes. All this clutch and the flywheel, it just came now. And again, it was my decision to replace it because I want to keep this car. So yeah, perfect handling, perfect power outcome from the 2-liter diesel. Let's check what's the fuel consumption. So at the moment it shows 80, 50, while it's original. So 46.5 miles per gallon. So with completely random driving, motorway, town, slower, quicker, doesn't matter. So yeah, I would say it's amazing for the money of these cars. And I was even thinking to build maybe something sportier with this car, to start rebuilding into the performance side. I would say we'll see. Maybe one day we will do it. Maybe the engine will be died. I don't know. The engine will die. Who knows? Because it's still high mileage. But yeah, nothing to say anymore. It's a perfect car for this money. And as a first Ford in my life, I was really surprised. Really surprised. After all BMWs, after all Audis, it's a very nice car. I'm completely happy with it. How it runs, how it steers, everything. So now we continue our way to the car wash. So we will wash this car. Especially because this old car, obviously there is some rust which is like trying to grow in this car. That's why I prefer to wash it as often as possible. Well, not critically often, like no, but once a week, once 2 weeks, if it's sold more often. So now we will go to the car wash. We'll properly wash it. If you are interested for, you can check how I'm washing the cars. The only one tip, when you wash cars, especially in the winter time, If you have snow and the salt or some chemicals on the road, wash it as often as possible. um, Wash the wheel arches and everything underneath, well, as much as you can. Even with a jet gun, if you can reach underneath and wheel arches, it really will help to maintain car and keep the car fresher. So yeah, guys, let's go to the car wash. Probably I will make some shots from the car wash. And yeah, see you in the future videos. See you in the future videos about this Focus, and we'll see where this way will take us.